Hello everyone. In this session, we'll discuss joint and conditional probability. Basically, this is probability for two random variable together, and this is limited for some of the branches only. You can go through your syllabus and you'll know that if it is in your branch or not, right? So let's see. Basically, joint and conditional probability. So for two random variables, let's say x and y, as we also say it as two-dimensional random variable x and y. So for two random variables x and y, the cumulative distribution of the random variable is given by f of x and y as probability for all x less than equal to x and for all y less than equal to y. So basically, like we have seen in distribution of single variable, that it is the sum of or integration of all the values up to that x in the sense small x. In the similar fashion, we are going to do this for two random variables. So we'll have to take care of two intervals, that is x will be less than equal to small x and y will be less than equal to small y. And if we have probability for a1, you can take a1 or less than also is fine. This is for x, and similarly you have a2, then this can be given as, this is a standard formula derived, we are not getting into the derivation part. This will be b1 b2 plus f of a1 a2 minus f of a1 b2 minus f of b1 a2, can be used directly in some of the cases. So these are the overall general expressions, and once we are getting into discrete and continuous, we'll see more expressions, more formulas, and we'll see how to solve it. So let's see the first one, which is discrete distribution. That is, x and y are discrete values, it will be taking discrete values. The probability function that is small f of x comma y will be given as probability for x is equal to small x and y is equal to small y. That is at one particular point, what is the value of this f of xy, this two variable function f of xy, the value of this two variable function at x is equal to small x and f equal to small y, right? And this is only if x and y is in the defined interval. So there are possibility that the function is defined in certain range, let's say x should be less than equal to 0 and greater than equal to 3, sorry, greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 3, and y should be greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 4, right? It's like x should have a range of 0 to 3 and y should have a range of 0 to 4. Now up to this range you'll get this values by directly putting it, and if it is coming out of this range it is going to be 0 otherwise. That is, if I am looking for, let's say, function value of let's say 4 comma 5, then this function is not defined in this 4 comma 5 region, and you can say that this is going to be 0 directly. We won't have to calculate it, right? It is not in the defined region. Now, so this is about the probability function. Next is distribution function. So we know in the case of discrete, the distribution function is found by summing up all the density function or probability mass function. So similar fashion, probability distribution for discrete is given as sum of f of xi comma yj. So this yj should take value less than equal to y, and xi should take value less than equal to x, right? So up to, it is summation of all the combinations of x and y up to that value, or up to that x and small y, nothing beyond that. So obviously if it is a discrete, we'll have some finite number of points and some finite number of values for that, right? So this will give the distribution function. Now we'll move to the next one. This is third one. This is marginal distribution. So how to find this marginal distribution? Marginal distribution is like finding the probability for single variable. Like for x, this px equal to small x is equal to what? So what we can do is, let's say we had this interval 0 x less than 3, and we had this interval for y 0 4. So let's say we are having all the combinations like 0 0 1 0 2 0 3 0 0 0 4, then 1 0 1 2 1 3 1 4, 2 0 2 1 2 3 2 4, 3 0 3 1 3 2 3 4, likewise, right? And if you want the marginal density for, let's say, x is equal to 0, then all the densities for x equal to 0, that is 0 comma 0, 0 comma 1, 0 comma 2 and 0 comma 3 and also 0 comma 4. We'll have to add all of this so that we can find the probability density function for x is equal to 0. You getting my point? For like all the possible combinations we have for x equal to 0 and y whatever finite or defined values we have. So we'll have to add all of them. So this can be done by summation yj f of xi comma yj. This is also, whether you write it in terms of p or x, this is all fine, right? So we'll have to integrate this, we'll have to sum up all the possible combinations which we can get here, right? Similarly, if we are doing it for marginal distribution for y, it will be for y, this p will be sum of xi, like all the possible x for y equal to, let's say, 0 or 1 or something like that. So if we are trying to find the marginal distribution for y is equal to 4, that means all the combinations for y is equal to 4, that is x equal to 0 and 4, x is equal to 1 and 4, x is equal to 2 and 4, x is equal to 3 and 4. So all these combinations will have to be added, so that we'll get the marginal probability that y is equal to 4, right? Next is conditional probability. So in this case, it is even more simple, but you'll have to find the marginal distribution first, then only you can find the conditional probability. Marginal distribution or probability is all same here. So for x, let's see the probability that x has certain value given y has certain value yj. So we are finding it for I should make this one bigger. Now for x having certain value given y is equal to yj, so this x will be xi, and this can be given as, we'll see, I'll make it very clear. Let me write this first. Let's write for y also together. So the understanding is, if we want to find the conditional probability that x is equal to 2 given y is equal to 3, what we will have to do is, first we can find the probability that x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3, so that is 2 comma 3, and then we can divide by the marginal probability for y is equal to 3. That means all the conditions for 3, right? Because like we have seen in the conditional probability that the sample space reduces or it changes. Similarly, now instead of having all the combinations of x and y, we have only combination of y is equal to 3. So it will be x equal to 0 and y3, y is equal to 0, x is equal to 1 and y3, x is equal to 2 and y3, x is equal to 3 and y3. So all these combinations, and after that you'll have the value of function 2 and 3, that is x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. Similarly, conditional probability is also for y. So in a similar fashion, we'll have this for continuous distribution also, right? So let's see. The second one is for continuous distribution. Now that it is clear, at least if the terms and the definition is clear for conditional or marginal or joint probability, what we have been doing in discrete as sum, we will be doing it as integral in the case of continuous distribution. That is the only difference here. Right? So it is going to be, let's say, the variables random variables x and y being continuous with density function f of x comma y, right? Obviously x and y belong to certain some region, let's say C, C is the region for which x and y are defined, or maybe the function is defined for this region. Then in that case, the probability is going to be x, y belonging to C the region, as double integration. Will, in case you haven't studied, we need this double integration in this case, and we also need the definition of the region defined for this. You can refer the multiple integral in calculus if you are not having a basic on this double integral. So the probability for x and y, that is two dimensional or two variable function, will be the integration, double integration, making sure that x and y belongs to that region C. C will be the region which will be like maybe given, or we can find as per the question. So second point is the distribution function. This is f of, let's say, a comma b, and can be written as function for x belonging to minus infinity to a, right? It is continuous function, and y belonging to minus infinity to b. So obviously when it is for a range, we can take the lower interval for x being minus infinity, and lower integral limit for y being also minus infinity. The upper limit will be a, the upper limit will be b, and making sure that it lies in the region. So this will be given as distribution function ab as double integral minus infinity to a minus infinity to b, the function, and integration dx dy, right? Also, if we do this integration in terms of single variable, we are going to get the marginal probability. The marginal probability will be given by, let's say it is for density for x. For x, it will be given as f of x as integration of f of x and y, xy, in terms of y from the interval minus infinity to infinity. And for y, f of y, the marginal probability will be integration of f of xy in terms of x for the interval minus infinity to infinity. So this is the marginal probability. And then the next one is conditional probability. So it is even more simple. Conditional probability, let's say for x, it will be given by f x for y equal to, let's say, small y, and x being x. So this will be nothing but function of x and y, that is small x and y, divided by the marginal probability of y in terms of small y. And similarly for y, the marginal probability x is equal to, let's say, small x, will be f of x comma y divided by the marginal probability of x for x being small x, right? Apart from this, There are few more expressions we'll see, that is I'll write it here only. Also, f of x is probability of, that is the distribution function, x less than equal to small x and y being integrated from for the entire interval, right? And f of y will be probability that x is for the entire region minus infinity to infinity, and y is less than equal to that small y. So this is the distribution. So in that case, what we'll have to do, if we are finding the distribution in terms of x, we can integrate it for the entire region defined, that is minus infinity to infinity, making sure that x is less than equal to or up to that value x, small x. Similarly, up to that small value y, right? Other than that, a general expression required is the integration minus infinity to infinity, or double integration from minus infinity to infinity, f of xy dx dy will be equal to 1, right? This has to be equal to 1. In fact, in the similar fashion, we can also find the values for discrete one, and we can say, if we have mentioned it, yes, this is the distribution function given, and if so, this is the sum for the limit that x is less than equal less than small x and y is less than small y for all the possible values or all the possible combinations. And if we add all such set, like that j and I, that is function of xi y j equal to 1. So all the possible values of x, I, and all the possible values of y together, if we sum up all the possible values, we should get 1. In the similar fashion we used to do in the single variable discrete or random variable, like integrating should give 1, or summation of all the possible values should give you 1. So that is it. We are doing the same thing here also. Fine. And after this, there is one more term, and then together we'll see all the questions. The next one is third one. This is independent random variable. There are possibility that the random variable x and y we are talking about, maybe they both are independent from each other. So the random variable x and y are said to be independent if for any set of real number of a and b. So this x belongs to a set A and this y belongs to a set B, then in that case probability of x belonging to A and y belonging to B is given as probability of x belonging to A into probability of y belonging to B. And this can also be extended, that probability x less than equal to a and y less than equal to b will be probability that x is less than equal to a into probability that y will be less than equal to b. Also, f of a b becomes f x a into f y b. So the distribution function can also be splitted for distribution of a b, x equal to a and y equal to b will be directly multiplication of distribution of x for a and distribution of y for b, right? Apart from this, let's say if the independent variables are sum up together for sum of independent variable, the cumulative distribution function of x plus y, if you are taking care of sum, so it is the cumulative distribution function x plus y equal to a is the probability of x and plus y being less than equal to a, right? It will be all possible values up to which this value is going to be less than or equal to a. So this can be given in the terms of double integration fx and fy dx dy, where x plus y is less than equal to a. So this x plus y less than equal to a may be a region defined for which now we are going to double integrate these values f of x and f of y. Why we can write it in this manner? Because they are independent, so it is possible to write it in this manner, right? So if we choose one of this and try to integrate, let's say if it is x plus y less than equal to a, then we can say from here that x should be less than equal to a minus y, right? This can be the upper limit, it cannot go beyond this. So let's say we are integrating this fx, so integration of the density function will give the distribution function, right? So in the similar fashion we can integrate in one of the term and write it being the lower limit, upper limit being a minus y, right now we have seen, and this is as it is, so dy from minus infinity to infinity. Obviously we'll have to take care of the region here. So in that case this can be now written as this f of x plus y is actually nothing but convolution of the distribution function f of x and f of y, right? This is nothing but convolution of f of x and f of y. You can see here in the similar fashion we can also write it as f of y a minus x, f of x small x and dx, right? So this is a convolution term, so we are writing f of x plus y can be given as convolution of the distribution function, right? And also if we differentiate it, the distribution function will get the density that x plus y will be a, this will be you can write it. Right. So these are the three cases. The first one was discrete distribution for two variable, then the second was continuous, and the third one was we were discussing these independent random variables brought up together. Right, we'll see the examples for each of the cases, and we'll see how we are actually going to implement all the formulas and what is the actual or real understanding of the formulas. So while we are discussing the questions, please refer to the formulas given.